Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/citizenho. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello there.
Hola!
And welcome to another fine feathered episode of Citizen Ho. I'm Scott.
I'm Kevin.
And here's the news.
Coming to you from Jersey.
Yes, coming to you from the Garden State, where there are no gardens.
Well, maybe if you're growing smokestacks.
Well, they're trying to make weed legal here, so I guess that would be a garden.
Maybe. Sure. Well, isn't it? Medical is already
Medical is legal in Jersey.
Medical is, I think it's legal in New York, too. They made medical.
Medical is legal in like almost every state now.
And there's like a couple of dispensaries in the city, or they're starting to open them up.
California really was like the gold standard for dispensaries. Like your doctor would just have to write you a script that you're like slightly depressed and you could get it. Yeah.
No, California was like, yeah, everybody has glaucoma.
Yeah. Like drama.
Yes. Precisely.
Did he have to get like a prescription to get that hat he wanted or something like that? He wanted a trucker hat.
What?
Was there an episode where
There was an episode where he wanted to get a prescription so he could get weed, but I don't remember it having to do anything with a trucker hat.
I don't know. I haven't watched that show in a long time. So nothing's happened in the world in the last month, Phil?
Oh no, nothing at all. Shootings.
What's there been 2 since then? Was Kentucky before or after the last recording?
I don't recall. It's been a while. Needless to say.
Let's see. Kentucky was.
Oh, you've got the whole tablet set up there.
Yeah. Well, I kind of brought it upstairs because I didn't want your son to touch it.
Oh, yeah.
Kentucky was right after our last recording.
Oh, okay.
2 killed, 18 injured, and then Parkland, Florida was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it again.
Oh, what? That we need gun control in some form?
It's just mind-boggling that in the I remember in college when Columbine happened. Like, we were it wasn't the student union. There was like a room on our floor that was like a communal TV room that you go to if you didn't have a TV.
Okay.
And we were all in there watching the news when Columbine hit.
No, I remember when that happened. I had a TV in my room.
So did I, but like everyone just wanted to watch it together.
Oh, no, well, my floor, my dorm floor that year wasn't that communal.
I don't know. I don't remember hearing about this before Columbine.
I don't know if it was just because we didn't pay attention to the news
or the media had changed.
Yeah, the media pays attention to it more.
Because I was discussing with my mom earlier today, like, what's changed? Why is this happening all of a sudden? If anything, it's harder to get guns now than it was back in the 50s. My mom blamed it on the 60s. She said that's when, like, everything changed. And that's when the anti-government sentiment really started.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
That was when you had the anti-government protests for the Vietnam War. I would say the 60s and into the 70s, I think Watergate did a lot as far as skepticism towards the government. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it depends. Like, when you say anti-government, like, which anti-government movement are you talking about? People's distrust of it.
Okay, yeah, people's distrust of the government?
Mm-hmm. Like, okay.
To a degree, but there's always been that. I mean, it's like...
This is just weird. I'm looking at, the killings of school shootings. There was 10 deaths in 1764 in the United States. That was a colonial one. Then the next one is 1893. There's 2 of them there.
Now, let's be honest here. The record keeping for that 130 years.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at Wikipedia, which is a very valid source.
Yes, but I'm saying that the records from those times just may not have a lot.
Okay, I get it. So we jumped to 1893. Then we jumped to 1940. Then the next one is the University of Texas one in 1966.
Okay.
Then we're up to Kent State, not Penn State. That's in 1970. Then we're up to 76, Fullerton, California. 91,
University of Iowa. So from 1764 to 1998, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 from 1764 to 1998.
Yes. Once again, I questioned the accuracy.
Do you know
of
why I'm using 1998 as the guideline?
Columbine.
Columbine was in 99. From Columbine to 2 days ago, you have
a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Just 12?
It seems these are ones that have caused deaths. There have been school shootings where nobody's died.
Yes, I know. Okay.
So, and then from Sandy Hook till today, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 major ones with deaths. But still, for 222 years, we had 11, and then 20 years, we had 12. Again, I'm just going based on ones that deaths occurred.
Okay. The mental health aspect, yes, they're not wrong that, yes, we need to improve our capacity to treat mental health in this country. There's no doubt about that.
We need to improve
but somebody who has mental health issues shouldn't be able to access a gun that easily.
Okay. This guy was reported to the FBI on January 5th, and nothing was done.
Yeah, I know.
He was Florida. There is the NICS check is done on all gun purchases. There's a 3-day waiting period on a handgun, no waiting period on a rifle.
Yeah, like I said.
Simple 7-day background check needs to be done. I would argue 30 days, but let's go for 7.
No, I mean, I agree. Background checks. Then the counter argument to a lot of this is, well, people will just get guns illegally, but
most of these shootings have been.
Most of these happen one of the reasons that these happen so frequently is because it's so damn easy to get one.
New York and New Jersey have 2 of the hardest gun laws in the country. We haven't had any shootings here.
No, there was some. There were no deaths, but there was a school shooting in the Bronx. I think a gun accidentally went off. It's like a month or 2 ago. It was more of an accidental thing. It wasn't somebody who came in to with the intent of killing people.
That's the Bronx. That's not New York.
Yes, it is.
That's also
I live in the Bronx.
Probably their parents' legally acquired gun.
Something. I think it was a gun hidden in a backpack or something, and it
sounds
off.
familiar. But I'm just saying, we haven't had people go. In Jersey, there's 30 days to get any type of gun. What the hell was that?
That was my watch.
Did your watch think you were doing voice control?
Yes, apparently. I must have hit something that...
Kevin had premature watulation.
Har, hardy,
okay,
har, har.
Moving on. So, I also think that there should be some sort of... I don't think semi-automatic weapons should be illegal.
It's a sticky situation because, yes, in an urban and suburban area... there's no real need for it. Absolutely not. But when you live out in the sticks, and I think we've had this conversation before.
Screw them. They move to somewhere. Even in the sticks, they have a couple of rifles sitting around.
Yeah, but a couple of rifles is one thing, but that's not necessarily going to be. You're not going to be able to protect yourself as easily. You're just not.
I don't care about them. Okay, how many of these people...
And that right there is part of the problem.
I know. I was being sarcastic, but how many people in the sticks have actually had to use their guns for home protection?
Protection from what?
You're saying bears and stuff?
Yeah. It does happen. It is a problem for them. It's a totally different... It's like living in a completely different universe.
I know what it is. Well, maybe we have to come up with ways to accommodate them while,
Yes. And the other thing that I've said before with regards to the Second Amendment is that we have to find a way to protect the spirit of allowing for skepticism of the government without allowing for people to be left in such danger. Mm-hmm. Is what it boils down to, and to leave it so open for these things to happen. And no, I don't think the solution is for a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
No, because if you have someone shooting and 50 people are firing their guns, who's the shooter?
But
I don't want guns. Like
it just leaves up way too much for...
Would you be comfortable if someone carried a gun to your office every day?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's one of those things that is...
I would say something to my boss if I knew someone was bringing a gun to work. We actually have a no firearms policy in my office.
Okay, well, but that's your particular company.
Yeah. Texas is... When I was at that company visiting Texas, there was guns in everyone's car.
Yeah, exactly. Totally different world.
And look, I know there are some very respectable gun owners that do the right thing. They keep their guns locked up, their ammo kept separately.
Yeah, no, there are, and there's no doubt that those people are responsible, and many of them probably just have like a simple handgun or something at home.
Yeah.
And okay.
I did have one thing I was thinking about today.
Yes.
Just change the name of the AR-15. Pretend you're getting rid of it and call it like the BJ-17. I'm not even kidding.
Nah, that's...
You see where I'm going with this, though?
No.
People will look for it. Oh, it's discontinued. They won't know what to use to shoot up a school.
Yeah. I don't think that'll work. Most of those people would...
I'm kidding around.
They would have that kind of information. Internet.
Yeah. Okay. So, in 2010, there have been 11 real school incidents from Alabama, Illinois, Colorado. Again, another one in Colorado? It was at the middle school.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio. Detroit. Oh, these aren't school shootings. These are just mass shootings. 2011, there were 7. Everyone said there were 18 in 2018. Let's look at the real stats on this. Wikipedia has 8 listed.
Oh, what is it? Wait, are the 18 mass shootings or 18 school shootings?
School shootings. 10 of them were like outside of schools or bullets shot at schools or like suicide attempts.
Okay, so some of that stuff is clearly...
media.
Yeah.
So on January 9th...
Or people just twisting the facts for their own purposes, which
is both sides.
Yes.
So this is the 8 that are listed on Wikipedia. On January 9th... Don't forget, we're February 17th, so that's... 1 is too many. I will just like to say that. A man shot a pellet gun at a school bus full of children, shattering a window.
Okay.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. A student was fatally shot on the campus of Wake Forest University. January 22nd is in Italy, Texas. A 16-year-old male fired...
Texas?
True. That's a city, not a country. A 16-year-old male student fired at a 15-year-old classmate in the cafeteria of Italy High School. The gunman left school immediately after firing. There was only an injury. In New Orleans, shots were fired from a truck into the parking lot of a high school. Marshall County, Kentucky was the mass shooting in Kentucky. 2 dead, 18 injured. L.A., shot and injured inside a classroom at Sal Castro. Oxon Hill, this I don't even hear of. This was robbed and shot in a parking lot. And then Douglas High School. The weird thing to me is this is a school that's roughly 1,300 miles from me. Yet I had so many connections to people there.
Yeah, well, because it's far away, but it's Florida.
Let's see if there are any famous people that have gone to this school. I'd always go on. Notable alumni from Dave Azier, never heard of him. Mike Caruso, baseball player. Matt Fox, baseball player. Shane Goddesbehere, ice hockey player.
Doesn't sound
Anthony
familiar.
Rizzo, the Cubs.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the best baseball players out there. Cassie Serbo, actress, singer, and model. From Sharknado 3, oh hell no. I like Sharknado, The Fourth Awakens. And a pro golfer, Nick Thompson.
What, a golfer from Florida? No.
Well, my 12-year-old niece asked my sister, am I safe in my school? And she didn't know how to answer her.
Yeah, well, kids shouldn't have to be worrying about that.
No. Well, unfortunately, they do.
Yes, well, such is the world we live in.
Just my advice, folks, is train your kid not to be a hero. As much as it pains me to say is, heroes die, cowards live. I'm not kidding here.
I mean, to a degree, but more just train them to be careful.
Be aware of their surroundings at all times.
Yep.
It's like when I was learning to drive, my dad always instilled one very important lesson to me when he wasn't yelling at me.
There wasn't very many opportunities for that.
Very many opportunities. But what he always said was, always try to anticipate what someone else is going to do. Look at the cars around you. Try to see what you think they're going to do.
Yeah, basically. It's actually funny. When I went to Florida last year, I was driving it with my mother-in-law, I think in her car, and we were driving up some big-ass road, and like... It runs parallel to the Florida Turnpike in that area, but it's
Military Trail?
No, it was west of the Turnpike, though. I don't think that's Military Trail.
Jog Road?
No, not Jog Road. West of Jog. It's a big road. It's like a state route number.
Route 7, A1A? No, that's east.
No, not A1A.
West of the turn.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a 3-digit route number.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
You're going to make me go on Google Maps.
That's what I'm doing right now. What town are they in? West Palm?
Boynton Beach.
Okay. While we're looking this up, because everyone cares about the demographics of Boynton Beach, Florida.
No, Route 441.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it was. So, yeah, I was driving down that road, and I just remember I was coming up on this intersection, and I was in the left lane, and I saw this car coming out to make a left turn. Now, he should have, in theory, stopped
this
at
is
the
Florida.
median and waited for traffic to clear in the left lane so he could turn into it. Oh, no, that's not what I saw. I was coming up on this intersection. I saw that this guy was going to make a left turn. So I moved myself into the center lane. But I figured he was going to turn into the left lane. That's what he should have done. But he shot out and went into the center lane, and somehow I knew about it, and I could see it happening. I could see that was going to be the situation, and I either moved out of the way or braked well in advance or something. And my mother-in-law commented afterwards, "How did you know he was going to do that?" I said, "I don't know. Just my spidey sense was tingling."
It's true. You know what I've actually seen a lot of recently? People going the wrong way on one-way streets, a lot of it.
Okay. I mean, I've heard about it.
I know, I've heard about it too, but
I would
the other day,
more so now than.
Okay, you know when you're coming to me, you go past the Target Whole Food Shopping Center. There's the Home Depot.
Right.
After the Home Depot, there's a jug handle turn.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody was going, and it's you only use it to go left. So if you're coming the opposite direction away from our house,
well, that's because that's stupid New Jersey.
No. Let me finish. So if you want to go left there, you have to go right here to go across the street.
Yes.
Somebody was coming from the other direction, just drove into the wrong way in this jug handle.
Yeah. That's stupid New Jersey roads.
By Milburn, I saw people going 40 miles an hour down a one-way, honking their horns, screaming.
Yeah.
They're fucking dumb.
Yes, people are dumb.
But
I've told you this many times.
It's just that I actually have a solution that I think could work about this whole gun problem. I want to hear your theory on it. The pro-gun people say nothing will work. We can't do anything. Nothing's going to happen. All you need is a good guy with a gun to prevent a bad guy.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Anti-gun saying we need to do this, this, and this. So let's try to prove it. Let's commission a non-partisan study with the NRA's support to work with us to go through every shooting and what could have been done to avoid this, as well as investigate state laws that have helped to do this, as well as international laws, and come with a valid plan that everyone can try to agree on.
The NRA would never support that.
That's the problem.
They would never support any kind of laws
that limit the Second Amendment.
That limit people's access to guns.
Do you think that's a solid plan?
I mean, I think it's worth looking into. But
not doing anything and just saying...
I think the bottom line is, the gun lobby's never going to buy into that. They just won't. Because
These stupid bump stocks in Las Vegas. Oh, well, we're going to look into that. Nothing's been done on that in 6 months.
Yeah.
And that should be made illegal. That's an accessory to a gun. That's not the Second Amendment.
Yeah, no, I know.
Why can't I own a tank?
I don't know. Why can't
It's
you?
illegal to. That's an infringement of my Second Amendment.
No, it's not. A tank is not specifically a firearm. A tank is a vehicle.
No, the word is, in order to maintain a well-regulated militia, the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed.
Yeah.
That's an arm.
A tank is a vehicle.
It's an arm. Why can't I own a missile launcher?
That
Well,
one I don't know.
Is that an arm? Why can't I have a nuke? Because these are dangerous. Do you know in New York State it's illegal to have a taser because of cause of accidental death?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think I did know about that. Mainly because of crazy Jewish mom.
Oh, she got engaged.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah. Mazel tov, Kate Siegel.
Yeah. Kate Friedman, Siegel, whatever. Yeah. Congratulations.
More importantly, congratulations to your mom. Hopefully she'll get her grand spawn now.
Oh, God. You kidding me? I just saw a post the other day that her mother texted her, wanted to know when she could make the fiancé an appointment to go to the doctor to get his sperm tested. I'm not kidding.
I think my favorite one is, do they make wedding spanks? She makes your mother-in-law look sane.
Almost.
I want to know how
She's like my mother-in-law, but with no filter.
I want to know how much of it is an act now. Like, because she knows that what she does. Like, I want to know if she does it intentionally.
She knows, but I don't think she really she only has a vague inkling of an understanding.
They do a podcast together, too. Like, Ask
I know.
Spawn, I think it's called.
Ask Mom and Spawn.
Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, I think people should support. There's a new one out there. It's a paid podcast, but it's the Ralph Report with Ralph Garman. He was let go after 18 years of his job on K-Rock Radio, so he started his own podcast.
Oh.
Go to patreon.com/The Ralph Report. Take a look at it. I like it. It's a good daily show to listen to.
Okay. Now that you're done promoting somebody else's podcast.
$3 a month. Hey, you got to promote the art.
Uh-huh. I'd rather promote us. Or maybe get us paid.
That doesn't work.
No, but we have to try anyway. Go to www.audibletrial.com/citizenho and sign up for a free 30-day trial account. And get a free audiobook download. Thousands upon thousands of titles to choose from, such as
Altered Carbon by Richard K. Morgan. Narrated by Todd McLaurin. The reason I recommend this is I haven't read it yet, but I've been watching the Netflix series of this book, and I really like it, so I may read the book.
Altered Carbon? What on earth is that about?
Okay. In the 25th century, humankind has spread throughout the galaxy, monitored by the watchful eye of the UN. While divisions in race, religion, and class still exist, advances in technology have redefined life itself. Now, assuming one can afford the expensive procedure, a person's consciousness can be stored in a cortical stack at the base of their brain and easily downloaded into a new body or sleeve, making death nothing more than a minor blip on a screen. Ex-UN envoy Takeshi Kovacs has been killed before.
Wait, how do you get another body to put your consciousness into? Doesn't that body already have its consciousness?
You clone it. Clone yourself.
Oh, okay.
Ex-UN envoy Takeshi Kovacs has been killed before, but his last death was particularly painful. Dispatched 180 light years from home and re-sleeved into a body in Bay City, formerly San Francisco, now with a rusted, dilapidated Golden Gate Bridge, Kovacs has soared into the dark heart of a shady, far-reaching conspiracy that is vicious even by the standards of society that treats existence as something that can be bought and sold. For Kovacs, the shell that blew a hole in his chest was only the beginning.
Dun dun dun.
It's a Netflix series. In the middle of the 8th episode. I like it, so check the book out.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There was some other breaking news yesterday.
What did I miss?
I was trying to do the Russian national anthem, but I don't know it.
That they indicted a bunch of Russians for meddling in the election.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who are these were Russians in the U.S.?
Yep.
And Trump says, "See, no collusion."
Mm-hmm. Playing the Russian national anthem in the background.
Okay. See, now what we really need is Nikolai Volkov to sing the Soviet national anthem.
But the indictments are meaningless because these people will not be extradited to the United States.
Yeah, fair.
But they were there. I think they were show. He dropped it. Mueller is dropping this very deliberately when?
What, Friday night?
Yeah. And like last week, there was something else that happened last week. I don't know. I can't keep up with this news cycle. Have you ever watched, aside from 9/11, have you ever watched this much news?
No, but I don't think I watched a lot. I watched and listened to a lot of news during and after 9/11.
Everyone did.
Like, I stopped listening to music on the radio for a few weeks. All I was listening to was the all news stations for the first few weeks. It was a while before I started listening to music again.
My wife, Marissa, she works in, what are you doing?
Tinkering.
Looks like you're pouring water on your cell phone.
There's no water.
Looks like you're pouring fruit punch on your cell phone.
There's a tiny bit and it's not going out, so I'm just...
Anyway,
that's why
she works in broadcast public relations. She tries to book stories and news. She said she's never seen a breaking news cycle like this. Every day there's something.
Oh. Yeah. All kinds of fun.
Again, I think Trump is going to go down in a similar way to Nixon, where Nixon didn't go down for Watergate.
He went down for
covering it up. I think Russia, I don't know if he was complicit in it or if he was their guy, meaning they had something on him and forced him to run for president.
No, I don't think so. I'm more inclined to believe the story that
they're too stupid.
No, more that that he went into the race figuring, maybe he'd be able to influence policy or something, and he didn't think he was actually going to win.
The producers,
sort of.
No Way Out. Have you read any of Fire and Fury?
No.
I have about 80 pages into it. I need to finish it.
Okay.
It's interesting.
I don't know if I need that much Trump in my life.
But I still think that the cover-up is what's going to take him down.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's so much.
Well, or
I don't think it's the cover-up. I think it would be the obstruction.
That's what
my guess. And I think whatever let's assume the Russians did do something to meddle in this. I think they were smart enough to not directly involve Trump, and I think Trump wouldn't have done anything directly with them either. So I don't think there's any direct connection there. I think to that degree he might be right. I think there might not be direct collusion there, but I do think that they deliberately went out to influence the election. They deliberately went to get him in. They knew that he was at least somewhat friendly towards Putin.
I think he's too egotistical to not have colluded with them. He thinks he could get away with anything, and his life proves that he could. The way he ran his life, he thinks he can. He's never lost a lawsuit because he settles or gets out of it. He thinks he's invisible.
He hasn't lost. He's lost lawsuits.
You know what I mean, though. To him, he hasn't, though.
In his mind, he hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Is he's an egotistical sociopath?
Yeah, but and I think to some degree, I don't think he knew what he was getting into.
I think they may have colluded by being too stupid to not have colluded.
See, I think it's funny. I think it's more that I don't think he was directly involved, but I think he's trying. I think he probably knows to some degree that they were meddling in the election. That they were that he was their preferred candidate to win.
So he didn't do anything to. Not that he colluded, but he didn't hey, FBI, I know this is going on.
Sort of. And I think when the investigation started, he has gone out of his way to try and make it seem like it's there's nothing there, when there's something.
Here's the thing, though: if there was nothing there, I think the investigation would have wrapped up already.
Maybe not, because look how long they spent investigating Hillary Clinton's emails.
That was because that was a politically motivated action.
They're both politically motivated actions.
There's a bigger difference, though.
Yeah.
I personally think Biden would have been president if he ran.
Maybe. I don't know. Biden's a little nuts.
I like him, though. Okay, and what's Trump?
Well, yeah, but in a different kind of way. Biden was always sort of like the little comical little brother, hanging on hanging behind.
Well, they had that legendary
Obama.
romance.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's funny. In the 8 years Biden was vice president, do you know how many tie-breaking votes he cast?
I don't know how many.
Take a guess.
0.
Correct. I think Pence has done 5 already.
Okay.
And most of them are on...
Which, considering how partisan Congress is in general, I'm surprised Biden didn't have to do any tiebreakers.
Well, that's the biggest problem. The president's supposed to unify the people, and all this one is trying to do is divide. Which people say is Obama, but I disagree on that one.
No, here's the difference.
The day Obama was
Trump goes out of his way to antagonize people.
Yeah.
That's just part of his routine. Is that he pushes buttons to try and get what he wants. But
Mike Pence is
the difference. I think
6.
What Obama did it wasn't so much about what Obama did as much as what he didn't do, and that the fact that he didn't necessarily, or I think he tried to reach out to the right a little bit, and when it didn't work, or when they didn't want to agree with what he wanted, at some point he just put his foot down and said, "I'm the goddamn president. We're doing it my way. Enough." So, and I think Obama does have an ego.
Senator Mitch McConnell summed up his plan to the National Journal. The single most important thing we want to achieve is for Obama to be a one-term president.
Yeah, and?
He said something else about, our goal is to stop him from doing whatever he can, whatever he wants.
Yeah, I know. But what are the Democrats doing right now?
The Democrats are also not being included in any of the processes. When Obamacare went through, they included the Republicans in all the committees. They went through the proper channels. It wasn't rushed through. It took 13 months to go through.
Yeah.
The tax plan took 3 weeks, and there was no committee. There was no attempt no amendments allowed by Democrats.
Yeah, I know.
Personally, the system of checks and balances is completely broken down.
Yeah, but the partisan, it's all about the partisanship. The partisanship has basically caused the entire system to break.
George Washington warned against that in his farewell address.
What, against partisanship?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember the details of his farewell address anymore. That was 11th grade social studies. Okay. Whatevs.
Pulling it up. I love the internet.
What are you going to read?
Washington warned of the dangers of political factions to democratic republics throughout history. His aversion of partisanship reflected the fact that just a few decades earlier, in 1746, political parties had driven England to civil war. The first farewell address from our only truly independent president harkens back to an age when distrust of political divisions was perhaps higher than it is now, and offers a solution to what ails us. I was no party man myself, Washington wrote Thomas Jefferson, and the first wish of my heart was, if parties did exist, to reconcile them.
Okay, then.
He was also the only president elected unanimously by the Electoral College.
Good for him.
Ronald Reagan was the second closest.
Yeah, he had one of the biggest landslide victories, right?
1984 election.
Yes, that was one of the biggest landslide victories ever.
I think Mondale just got his home state in D.C.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Ronald Reagan had 525 electoral votes. Walter Mondale 13.
Awesome.
D.C. and that's the last time New York voted for a Republican.
Ronald Reagan in 84, huh? Okay, then. New York voted for Dukakis.
1988, United States. Let's see how much Bush won by. It was actually a pretty big margin, too. Jersey went Republican then. Bush.
88?
88. Bush won 426 to 111.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Clinton had a pretty large one, too.
In 96, definitely. Yeah. 92 was close.
92. No, not really.
Okay.
Clinton 370, Bush 168.
All right.
However, he went down the entire middle of the country from Minnesota to Louisiana is all blue.
What? For
yeah,
Clinton?
like the map.
For Clinton?
Yeah, 92.
Oh.
You see what I'm talking about right here?
Yeah.
There's that whole blue streak there, and it's kind of like the entire East Coast, Upper East Coast. It's like the middle of America. Most of this is red now. These two, all these are red.
You go Texas and straight up, that's all red.
Yeah, but Texas had a lot fewer electoral votes then.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's look at 96. I'm just curious. This is interesting. You don't find this interesting?
I do somewhat. I just don't know if it translates well to a podcast.
We're educating. It's actually, in 96, he won by more, but not significantly more. He only had 9 more electoral votes than he did.
Okay. I feel like 96 was more of like everybody knew Clinton was going to win.
Yeah. I'm just seeing where the difference was. No, because Colorado went Republican there.
The one thing I remember about the 96 election, I really wanted to vote, but I couldn't.
You would have been able to.
No. The 96 election?
Yeah, you turned 18 a month after. If you turn 18 the year of a presidential election, even if your birthday's after, you can register to vote.
Well, son of a bitch, I didn't know that then. Not that it would have made that much of a difference.
Yeah, you're allowed because you're turn 18 that year. And then here's a close electoral one, 271 to 266.
What is that? That's Bush Gore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we all recall that one.
That really was 5-4.
Yeah, well. That's just because it went to the Supreme Court.
Let's see, presidential election. Oh, I don't want 2000. I want 2004.
That was, I mean, I don't know if that was a landslide, but Bush won that one pretty handily.
286 to 251.
Really? That was closer than I thought.
Yeah. 2008. It's funny. Why do you think Barack Obama became president?
Because he got the black vote out.
2 reasons. The blacks went out to vote for him, and people voted against Sarah Palin.
Yeah. Well, she's nuts.
He had the entire Rust Belt. It's like, again, look at this. Remember the Clinton map? Look how different it is here. This is all red now, and it's just the coasts.
Yeah.
Virginia. Did North Carolina went for him too?
I guess so. That's kind of
North
what
Carolina.
It looks like. Yeah, I can't see it that well.
Oh, sorry. That's interesting. Wisconsin, Michigan, 2012. So what do you have? 365. You had 365 in 23. He actually won by less in 2012. Romney did better.
Oh, okay.
North Carolina is the difference.
That's not that much of a surprise then.
Now let's take a look at 2016. So 2016 U.S. So Obama had 332. What's this?
Biggest electoral victory ever.
The only one Trump has beaten in the last 30 years was George W. Bush.
Yeah, I know. He tried to claim that he had the biggest electoral college victory ever.
I think it was like 70,000 votes were the difference.
Okay.
Because, I don't know if you can see here, this is the difference. Does that get bigger if I click on it?
Yeah, how is that 70,000 votes?
No. The difference is in those states.
Yeah,
like these states here was like a $70,000 vote difference that gave him the election if you add all the differences up in there.
Okay. They were that close?
Yeah. But this, I think, is going to change next time. This, I think, is going to change. And these are going to go back. Well, not that one, but these.
Possibly. We'll see.
20 plus 18 plus 20 plus 18 is 38.
The 2018 election is going to be an interesting one. Even though it's not presidential, but it's a midterm. All right. Anyway, enough politics.
All right. We'll go to what people really come to hear the podcast about.
What, movies?
Yeah.
All right. Let me bring up there it is. Okay, first off, premiering this week, we have Black Panther, starring Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, and Michael B. Jordan. Chadwick Boseman will play T'Challa, the prince of the African nation of Wakanda, who must take over the throne after his father's murder.
Marvel movie credit?
Oh, yeah, fresh.
Fresh.
Totally.
Early Man. Eddie Redmayne, Maisie Williams, Todd Hiddleston. Set at the dawn of time, when prehistoric creatures and woolly mammoths roared the earth, Early Man tells the story of Doug. Hey, I'm Doug. Along with his sidekick Hobnob, who unites his tribe against the mighty Bronze Age in a battle to beat them at their own game. This is by the studio that did Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit.
Oh.
So I'm going fresh.
Yeah, I will go fresh on that. Just knowing that it's the Wallace and Gromit. Aardman.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. Detective Chinatown 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Starring Wang Bao Xiang, I guess. Lu
Everybody,
Haran,
wow, bang.
Xiao Yang. When the case of New York Chinatown Godfather Uncle Qui's missing son turns into a murder investigation, the detective duo Tang and Kin team up again to hunt down the killer, this time with some help from the International Detective Alliance.
Foreign film cred?
Yeah, I'll go foreign film cred.
Oh, and Happy Lunar New Year, by the way.
Oh, yes.
To all our
Year of the
Asian
dog.
listeners.
I didn't know we had Asian listeners.
Okay, for the fact record, Kevin is the racist one, not Scott.
All I said was I didn't know we had Asian listeners.
You're generalizing
I didn't say we couldn't have Asian
You're generalizing
listeners.
that our audience is white and Jewish.
I didn't say anything about Jewish, and I didn't say they
Why,
were specifically
they can't
white.
be Jewish now?
Stop it. Idiot.
Happy End by Matthew Kosovitz, Jean-Louis Trintignant, Isabelle Hubert. Focuses on a wealthy family in northern France, oblivious to the misery of the migrant camps in the nearby city of Calais. Foreign film cred.
Foreign film cred. French foreign film cred. Honor Up, starring Damon Dash, Stacey Dash, and Cameron Giles, or Giles, I don't know. Damon Dash stars as OG, a drug lord's lieutenant struggling to maintain the code of honor, protect the family, within his unruly crew after a Harlem shootout. Also featuring Nicholas Turturro and Stacey Dash, this film reveals a deadly underworld where beats pound as bullets fly, and even outlaws must live by the code.
And I'm going with our first rotten one of the day.
I have Stacey Dash rotten cred.
Is she the nut job right wing one now?
She's on Fox News a lot.
Irreplaceable You. Christopher Walken. That was horrible, sorry.
Walken. More cowbell.
Steve Coogan. Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Okay, whatever.
Follows Abby, Gugu, and Sam, Michelle Huisman, best friends since childhood, who are engaged to be married, and whose tranquil New York lives come crashing down when Abby receives an unexpected diagnosis. Faced with the prospect of an uncertain timeline, Abby begins a touching, and often humorous search for a new love to take care of Sam. Along the way, Abby makes unlikely friendships with Myron, Christopher Walken, Kate McKinnon, Kate, and Mitch, Steve Coogan, whose one thing in common is that they focus on living while they are dying.
Netflix only release.
Ooh. I'm going to go with rotten because their movies have been bad, but their shows have been good.
I'm going to go fresh on this, just for doing something different, even though I might very well be wrong.
You have a 40% chance of being right.
Loveless. In Loveless, Jaina and Boris are going through a vicious divorce marked by resentment, frustration, and recriminations. Already embarking on new lives, each with a new partner, they are impatient to start again, to turn the page, even if it means threatening to abandon their 12-year-old son, Alyosha. Until, after witnessing one of their fights, Alyosha disappears.
Foreign film cred, I think.
Foreign film cred.
Or indie film cred, either way.
Yeah, whatever.
Monster Hunt.
2.
Bai Bai, Boranjing, Tony Lung Chiwai. Set in a world where monsters and humans coexist, the franchise tells the story of Wuba, a baby monster born to be king. Wuba becomes a central figure in stopping an all-out monster civil war.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fresh.
Foreign film fresh. All right. Nostalgia, starring John Hamm, Ellen Burstyn, and Catherine Keener.
Ellen Burstyn.
Yes, Ellen Burstyn.
I was thinking that movie she was in with like Jimmy Smits, where she was like a reincarnated guy. Wasn't that her?
Was that Ellen Burstyn?
I think so. What's the
that
name
was
of the movie?
called Switch by Blake Edwards. Or Blake Edwards' Switch, I think is what it was. Anyway.
Switch or Switched?
Switch. Okay. A mosaic of stories about love and loss, nostalgia explores our relationships to the objects, artifacts, and memories that shape our lives.
It was Ellen Barkin, not Ellen Burstyn, sorry.
Oh, okay. Anyway. I'll go fresh on this one. Why
Sure.
not? I can't believe you get to read this one. You're going to giggle the whole time.
Oh, I even like the cat. Poop Talk. Kumail Nanjiani, Rob Corddry, and Dr. Drew Pinsky. Poop Talk is an open and honest look at the taboo topic in today's society. The docu-comedy gives an inside look at all things poop. From uncensored, embarrassing moments to scientific explanations recounted by 50 experts and comedians including Kumail Nanjiani, Nicole Byer, Adam Carolla, Rob Corddry, Nikki Glazer, Pete Holmes, Eric Stonestreet, Randy and Jason Sklar, Nick Swartzen, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and many others.
Documentary cred.
Kumail Nanjiani cred.
Yeah, sure. All right. Samson, starring Jackson Rathbone, Billy Zane, and Taylor James. A Hebrew with an unusual gift of strength must respond properly to the call of God on his life in order to lead his people out of enslavement. After his youthful ambition leads to a tragic marriage, his acts of revenge thrust him into direct conflict with the Philistine army.
Philistine.
As his brother mounts a tribal rebellion, only Samson's relationship with a Philistine temptress and his final surrender, both to the Philistines and to God, turns imprisonment and blindness into final victory.
I'm doing a really bad impression of one of our Hebrew school teachers.
Yes.
You know which one I'm trying to do?
Neworth?
Yeah. I wasn't going to say her name, but I should say your wife's favorite one.
She's probably dead.
I'm going Rodden. Religious lack of credit. It's a religious movie. Those are never good.
Okay, I will go rotten.
It's listed as faith under the category.
Yes, I saw.
Wouldn't it be nice if I could touch your body?
Just read the next one.
The Monkey King 3. The third installment of the blockbuster... Blockbuster? I never even heard of Monkey King 1 and 2.
Yeah, me either.
Fantasy series sees the return of the Monkey King, Aaron Kwok. It is most action-packed adventure yet. While continuing their epic journey to the west, the Monkey King and his companions are taken captive by the queen of an all-female land, who believes them to be part of an ancient prophecy heralding the fall of her kingdom. With a lot of sorcery and a little bit of charm, travelers devise a plan to escape. But when their trickery angers the almighty river god, Murray, they realize they might just bring about the foretold destruction, unless they can find a way to quell her wrath.
What?
I don't know, but I'm going to go rotten because the third movie in a trilogy is typically the worst one.
I'm going to go rotten because I haven't heard of any of these fucking movies, and it just sounds
it's a
stupid.
blockbuster fantasy series. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you haven't heard of it either.
But I'm
All
an
right.
idiot.
I believe last but not least we have The Party, starring Patricia Clarkson, Bruno Ganz, and Cherry Jones. Janet, Kristen Scott Thomas, not mentioned earlier, is hosting an intimate gathering of friends in her London home to celebrate her political ascension, while her husband, Bill, Timothy Spall, seems preoccupied. Janet's acerbic best friend, April, Patricia Clarkson, arrives and others follow, some with their own dramatic news to share. But an announcement by Bill provokes a series of revelations that gradually unravel the sophisticated soiree, and a night that began with champagne may end with gunplay.
I'm going rotten.
I'm going to go rotten on that, too.
I'm surprised I didn't pull this one.
Alrighty.
That's Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes, Flickster, whatever.
Okay, Black Panther was really close. It came in with a whopping 97%. I was worried about that one.
Uh-huh.
Come on, you slow-ass piece of duty. Okay, Early Man's fresh.
Bitch.
Samson, 20%. The Party's fresh.
Okay, then.
Oh. Loveless, did we have that? Yeah, we had that as fresh. Double Lover we didn't have. Tehran Taboo. Detective Chinatown Tale. Let's do it this way. 38%. Rotten. Foreign film critic failed us.
Oh, darn.
Happy. What was it? Happy End? Oh, let's see what else. Honor Up. Honor Up, no reviews. Not up there. Monster Hunt 2, no reviews. Nostalgia.
Aww.
31% rotten. We went fresh on that. Poop Talk. 86%.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
The Monkey King. 40% rotten. Let's check out Happy End. Happy Feet. Their search is so slow. That's a 2017 data on. That's weird. Maybe it was a US release. Fresh, so 69%. Did I do Honor Up yet? Oh. Oh, come on. No, not 50 Shades Freed. Damon Dash, Stacy Dash, Cameron. No reviews, but I'm still going to go ride on that one. Yeah. I mean, Stacey Dash has come so far from Clueless.
Really? Was her role in Clueless that good?
She was Dion.
I know.
22% Irreplaceable You. Scott gets it. Kevin failed. That was the Netflix one.
Yeah, I figured.
And Monster Hunt 2 is the last one. What are you doing, Dave?
Futzing, as usual.
Monster Hunt 2, no reviews. That's a live action film. That's not a movie.
Okay, then.
The monster is CGI. I get it. It's like Roger Rabbit type thing. There's something else I wanted to mention. I can't remember what it was, but anywho, that's the end. There is no more.
Yeah. Oh, darn.
So, follow, download us, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or anywhere else you can get your podcast. Like us on Facebook.com/CitizenHo. Tweet us at CitizenHoPod. Instagram at CitizenHoPod. Email us at dumbass@CitizenHo.com. I'm Scott.
I'm Kevin.
Be excellent to each other.
Bye-bye.
Station!